Rain drifted lazily across the small Arizona town of Sierra Ridge, turning the dusty pavement into a patchwork of darkened earth. The diner on the corner, Maple Street Grill, buzzed softly with the morning rush. Truckers and teachers, farmers and travelers, all shuffled inside to warm themselves with coffee and something like comfort. At a small booth near the window sat an elderly woman named Marlene Hayes, a retired school custodian with silver hair pulled into a neat bun and hands wrinkled like old poetry. Her wallet held exactly $10. It had taken her nearly 20 minutes to decide whether she should use it on groceries for the week or pay for the arthritis medication she'd been stretching thinner and thinner each month. But as she stared at the simple plate of toast and eggs the waitress placed in front of her, she decided she would allow herself one meal, one small pleasure she hadn't tasted in nearly 3 months. Outside, engines thundered. A group of bikers, the Iron Brotherhood, rolled into the diner parking lot, their leather jackets glistening with rain. Some customers stiffened, others watched with timid curiosity. The bikers weren't troublemakers, not in the way old movies like to pretend. Most were veterans, mechanics, fathers, and second-chance souls. But people judged by appearances, as people often do. One of them, a tall man with a braided beard and tattered denim vest, stumbled as he got off his bike. His name was Ryder Cole, known among his club as Bear because of his size and because he hugged people too hard after 2 beers. He winced, holding his ribs. "You okay?" his younger brother Jax asked. Bike sputtered again, Ryder muttered. "Engine's coughing like I am. I'll get it fixed when I get paid next week. I hope." Inside the diner, the waitress guided the bikers toward the bar seats. Ryder lingered near Marlene's booth, rubbing his ribs as if trying to massage the pain away. It wasn't just the pain, it was embarrassment. He hated looking weak, especially around strangers. Then he bent down to pick up something he'd dropped, a small envelope containing some cash he was planning to use for gas and repairs. He didn't notice it had fallen out of his pocket, but Marlene did. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. She reached for the envelope, but her back stiffened with a sharp ache. Ryder saw her struggling and turned quickly. "Oh, ma'am, don't move," he said, crouching beside her. "I've got it." She handed him the envelope, smiling gently. "These old bones don't like quick movements anymore." He chuckled, but pain flickered in his eyes. "You hurt?" she asked. "Just cracked a rib a few days back, and my bike's giving up on me. It's been a week." He didn't mean to sound defeated, but he did. Something about this grandmotherly stranger made him speak honestly. "How much does it cost to repair something like that?" she asked. "Too much," he muttered. "I'm short, but I'll manage." She looked at him, then at her plate, then at her purse, a small leather thing worn soft over decades. Without thinking, without calculating, without worrying about what she'd eat tomorrow, she pulled out the last $10 bill she had and pressed it into Ryder's hand. "Take this," she whispered. His eyes widened. No, I can't, ma'am. Please," she insisted. "You remind me of my grandson. He used to walk around pretending he was invincible, too. Men like you carry the weight of everyone around you. Let someone help you this once." Ryder swallowed hard, emotions tightening his throat. Nobody had helped him in years, not since his wife passed. Not since the world seemed to shrug and expect him to just carry on. He tried to return the money, but she closed his fingers firmly around it. "I insist," she said. He finally nodded. "Then let me at least pay for your meal." "No need," she replied. "Just promise me you'll take care of yourself." The biker placed a hand over his heart. "I promise." Later that morning, as Marlene left the diner with slow, careful steps, Ryder stepped outside to watch her walk away. She looked small against the gray horizon, alone, but dignified. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story, but something inside him shifted, something he couldn't ignore. That evening, Ryder gathered the Iron Brotherhood at their warehouse, part garage, part sanctuary. The scent of oil and gasoline clung to the air as dozens of bikes lined the walls like metallic beasts resting after a long hunt. "We ridin' tomorrow?" one asked. "We're doing something more important," Ryder said. He told them what had happened at the diner, how an elderly woman who had almost nothing left had given him her last $10 without hesitation. "She doesn't know it was all I needed to get back home," he said. But it wasn't the money, it was what it meant. The room grew still. These were men who had known hardship, homelessness, addiction, broken marriages, PTSD. They knew what it meant to be helped by someone who had no reason to care. and they understood the rare purity of such kindness. "What's the plan, Bear?" one asked. "We find her," Ryder said, "and we return the kindness 1,000 times over." The brothers didn't hesitate. Harley headlights flickered like stars as they split across town, asking around. The diner waitress, Maggie, identified the woman. "That's Miss Marlene," she said. "Lives in the Willow Oaks trailer park. Sweetest woman you'll ever meet. But life's been cruel to her lately. She's behind on rent. Medicine, too." "How far behind?" Ryder asked. "Months," Maggie whispered. "She won't tell anyone, but she's close to losing everything." By nightfall, the Iron Brotherhood had a plan. "We raise money," Ryder said, "whatever we can, and tomorrow, every rider brings something. No excuses." Across Sierra Ridge, the rumble of motorcycles echoed like thunder as news spread between bikers in bars, workshops, garages, and farms. Some brought groceries. Some brought appliances. Some brought cash. Some offered free repairs, free labor, and free medical checkups. All because one elderly woman, with trembling hands and aching bones, had given away her last $10 without expecting anything in return. The next morning, Ryder found himself standing before a gathering of 50 riders, each mounted on gleaming machines, each carrying bags, boxes, or envelopes. "Today," Ryder said, raising his helmet, "we ride for Marlene." Engines roared. The convoy rolled through town in a majestic line of chrome and leather, 50 bikers riding in formation, like guardians of a forgotten angel. People stepped outside shops and homes, phones raised, confused and mesmerized by the spectacle. When they entered Willow Oaks, curtains were pulled open, children rushed outside, dogs barked excitedly. It wasn't often that 50 motorcycles rolled through a quiet trailer park, but they did today, for her. Marlene stepped outside her trailer, startled by the thunderous noise. Her robe fluttered in the morning breeze. "Oh my goodness," she whispered. Ryder walked up first, removing his helmet. "Ma'am, I never got your name." "Marlene," she said softly. "Well, Miss Marlene," he said, voice trembling, "we're here because you helped me. Yesterday. More than you know. You reminded me that the world still has people with hearts bigger than anything." She looked overwhelmed. "But it was only $10. "It was everything," Ryder said. "And we're here to return what you gave, times 50. The gifts came one by one, groceries stacked to her knees, a brand new heating unit, a prepaid pharmacy card, an envelope with $8,000 collected overnight. A mechanic offered to maintain her old car for free. A nurse volunteered to check on her twice a week. Another biker's wife brought blankets, clothing, and homemade meals. The trailer park residents gathered around, watching with wide eyes as the elderly woman's world transformed, right in front of them. But the biggest moment came last. A biker named Hawk stepped forward with a clipboard. "Miss Marlene, Ryder told us you're behind on rent and bills, so we talked to the owner of the park." Her heart pounded. "And we've paid off everything you owe," Hawk said gently. "Not for a month, not for a year." Ryder stepped in, tears in his eyes. "We paid it for life." Marlene covered her mouth as her knees buckled, and Ryder caught her before she fell. You can't be serious," she whispered. "You're family now," Ryder said, "and family looks out for each other. For the first time in years," she cried. Not from fear, not from worry, but from pure, overwhelming gratitude. Later, as the bikers stayed to help clean her home, repair her cabinets, and cook lunch, Marlene sat on her porch watching them laugh and joke like noisy, overgrown sons. She turned to Ryder. "You didn't need to do all this." Ryder shook his head. "Yes, we did. Because kindness like yours, it changes people. It changed me." She squeezed his hand. "All I gave was $10. And look what it turned into," he said softly. "A whole army that would ride for you. The sun dipped below the horizon. The 50 bikes lined up once more. Engines rumbled gently, like a promise, like an oath. "We'll be back," Ryder said. "Check on you, help you. You're one of us now." And as the convoy rolled away, leaving dust swirling in the golden light, Marlene realized something profound. She had spent her last $10 thinking she would lose something. Instead, she had gained a family of 50 and a life she never imagined possible.